with President Donald Trump continuing to practice diplomatic brinkmanship via Twitter. U.S. and Iranian tensions appear to be reaching a boiling point as they have several times since Trump entered the Oval Office. The president's latest outburst was in response to comments from Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, who said, "Peace with Iran is the mother of all peace, and war with Iran is the mother of all wars." Trump fired back in all capital letters, warning his Iranian counterpart to never, ever threaten the United States again. Exactly what this means is unclear. As is often the case with the president's bellicose social media output, political commentators raised concerns that Trump might use such a conflict to deflect attention from his domestic troubles, whether in Syria, North Korea or Iran. But if the USA was to go to war against the Islamic Republic, could it win? The USA military is superior to Iran's in every way. In a straight, one-on-one fight, America trumps Iran every single time. And that's without taking into account the USA nuclear arsenal, which alone is enough to flatten most of Iran. But no war is fought on paper, nor in a vacuum. America might crushed the Taliban in Afghanistan and swept Saddam Hussein from power within weeks. As far back as the Vietnam War, USA forces never lost a battle against the North Vietnamese enemy. Regardless, none of those conflicts ended in total victory. If decades of difficult conflicts worldwide have taught the American military anything, it is that our mighty armory goes only so far. In pure population terms, Iran, at 80 million, is dwarfed by the USA's 325 million. That gives America much more available manpower and domestic production ability than Iran. Though Iran has one of the youngest populations in the world, it still wouldn't be enough to tip the balance in its favor. The USA military has around 1.3 million active military personnel, while Iran has just 550,000, including reserve personnel. The USA has more than 2 million, while Iran would struggle to hit 1 million. On top of this, American troops are far better trained and equipped than their Middle Eastern rivals. The USA has the largest military budget in the world, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. America committed $610 billion to its armed forces last year, more than China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, India, France, the United Kingdom and Japan combined. Iran, on the other hand, can only dedicate around $14.5 billion to defense, a startling mismatch. Such a gulf in funding means a gulf in equipment. The USA fields some of the most advanced weaponry in the world, while the backbone of the Iranian military is comparatively outdated. Iran fields around 1,650 tanks compared to around 5,000 for the USA. How many of those are battle-ready on either side is unclear. But even if you halve the American numbers, the USA would still come out on top. The numerous variations of the M1 Abrams tank form America's armored backbone. Introduced in 1980, the base platform is aging, but constant offensive and defensive improvements have equipped the tanks of 2018 for the modern battlefield. The newest units are inbound, and the Pentagon has already taken delivery of the first N102 SEP Abrams systems. Sporting further upgrades, Iran mostly fields second-rate, Cold War battle tanks, none of which are a match for an Abrams in a one-on-one fight. The country is developing its new Capita platform, which it says will be one of the most advanced tanks in the world. But even if it could be introduced in great numbers, Experts are skeptical about how potent a weapon could be. In the air, the USA comfortably outstrips any other nation on Earth. With more than 13,000 military aircraft across all branches, the American total towers above Iran's 550. Though many of them are support aircraft, the USA flies the most modern weapons on the planet, while Iran still relies on Cold War leftovers. Currently, the most advanced offering in the USA arsenal is the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II stealth jet, of which around 50 are in service and more than 1,000 on order. One of only 5 fifth-generation fighter jets on the planet. It is far superior to Iran's MiG-29 fighter and a handful of old American planes left over from the days of the Shah, such as the F-14. At sea, the American Navy is unrivaled worldwide. It boasts approximately 282 deployable battle force vessels, including 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, discounting more than 200 small patrol boats. Iran has around 50 battle vessels. Those smaller boats could be used as suicide boats or in other unconventional ways. But the full might of the USA Navy would surely dispatch an Iranian enemy. One of the issues that has caused so much animosity between Washington and Tehran is nuclear energy. Iran remains outside the nuclear club, and in the event of total war would be unable to retaliate against America's enormous nuclear arsenal, which currently houses around 6,500 warheads, in an all-out conflict with no limits. This atomic disparity would make all other comparisons irrelevant.